Yeah, good morning from my location, the people of Biafra. Good morning to my Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Oraveze. Good morning to Mazi Nnamdi Okukanu, the United States of Biafra President. And good morning to my Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpanjoko, the Prime Minister of United States of Biafra, who was arrested by Finnish authority and put him in incarceration because of his fighting for his people. And good morning to all the Biafra generals and commanders, all the Biafra army and police. From me to you, happy new month to we all. The month of 1 year anniversary of our official declaration of United States of Biafra. So I welcome you this morning to hallowed platform this morning on this chamber with a warming happy new month as we are stepping into the what we call in Igbo language Mba month. So on this ground, I welcome you all. Please, as I welcome you, welcome another person to join us this morning. That is how you help to know that people to know that we are alive. And we are doing something this morning to complete what we started yesterday, because you know how we do it here. So please endeavor, like, share, and put your comments. It's very, very imperative if you can do so this morning. So people may know that this morning that we are live and we are direct. So I want to thank you for all you do for supporting this platform and always coming along to share your thoughts on the conversation with us. And I want to thank you for all you do for standing up and support United States of Biafra with the government that is led by the Ngozi Oraveze. I thank you for doing that. I also thank you for using your own mind to believe in the truth and know that the truth is bitter. I thank you for doing that because it's not easy. The ability of you to reason, to know the wrong and the right, is what makes you a living human being. That's why I can't stop thanking you for standing up and be on the side of the truth. So all are very important into what we are doing, that nobody will stop us. So I want to thank you for being resolute. And I want to thank you for being who you are, that you did not allow anyone to deceive you or to be the one to tell you what to do and what not to do. That is all I have to thank you this morning for. So you can see what is going on throughout the whole world. You can see how things is happening. But there is one thing that must come across your mind. Remember, there is Chukwu Okabiama who watches affairs of the Biafran people, or who give every human being life. The question is, what are you doing with the life that Chukwu Okabiama give to you? That is number one question. Then number two, are you standing on the truth? Are you representing light or darkness? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. That when you ask yourself, then you may understand and you find an answer that will yield the results. Because if you happen to be changed, what you find will make you to change. Well, in life, they say that there is one thing that is a constant in life is change. No, in this that are constant in life is what? Change. Inside this world, there is a true change. Those that will change from bad to good, and those who will change from good to bad, all are changing and they are constant. That's why you ask yourself a question: what am I doing? Where do I stand? Am I doing the right thing? So this morning, the only way out that we have figured out is to be here to let you know that Biafra has been officially been declared on November 29, 2024. Not in our own power, but by the power of Chukwu Biama, who is piloting the affair of the Biafran people through human beings, like the way it happened in the olden days inside Bible. You remember about the 12 apostles, what they did? God used them. That is also how God is using you and I. And Mazen Nandekano, the president of United States of Biafra, using Prime Minister Mas Simon Ekpa, using our DPM, Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Arabueze, a lady who are very strong, more than some gullible men that you see on social media today. So that is why we are letting you to know that it is our inalienable right to come out here to ask Britain what was our offense. UK, England, London, or whatever you may be called. What is the offense of the black man? That's the question we are asking this morning. Why is it that you can't do without black man? You cannot do without black man by suppressing him down, and you feel superior, where you make a black man to feel inferior. But everything that you use to build up your country, you grab all of them by force, by stealing by threes from a black man. And always you come against the black man who make you to have a good country today. Building of your country depends on the black man. These are facts. These are truths that could not be able to be denied. So, in all you do, remember, a day of agony, that when black man or Africa or the Biafran people, we put a yardstick to measure all the things you did in our land and how you treated our forefathers. That time is fast approaching that you may easily understand that blacks, we are calculating everything that you are doing to us. We are calculating everything, and we are not relenting. A time is coming. And because of your evil way, you Britain, you UK, your evil is why you plan to come and colonize Africa for a second time. But if we may ask questions, what you are getting from our land after the First World War, Second World War till this day is not enough for you to live. Why are you so greedy? Why are you so heartless? Why are you evil? Why? Why do you bring injustice to Africa? Why are you sponsoring insecurity in all the black countries in the world? You who answer Britain, you who answer UK, Why do you bring the amalgamation of 1914 to the people of Biafra that you used to cause them death? Over 5 million people was massacred by you who called yourself white man, who call yourself Britain, who call yourself UK, or any name you call yourself. Without you coming to do the amalgamation, the Biafran people, the killing that's going on in Nigeria, the killing of the indigenous people could have not come in existence. Because before the 1914 amalgamation, we are living a decent life and very civilized, very peacefully. Check in the history of Africa. There is no issue of land or territory dispute or border dispute until you who call yourself Britain come into Africa. You who call yourself France come into Africa. Why your longer truth cannot be able to stop from 20 centuries till this day, you are still in Africa, bringing insecurity, bringing killings, sponsoring bandits, sponsoring Boko Haram, sponsoring all manner of bad things to Africa, weaponizing the evil one, the enemies who happen to be Boko Harams, suicide bombers. Why are you keep on doing such a thing? Why? We want you to understand that the Biafran people that was declared in 1967 to 1970, that we have taken it on ourselves that want to be alive. Before the amalgamation of 1914, the question is, in Africa, in that so-called contraction, who are we and how are we believing before then? Why did the amalgamation brings death sentence to every indigenous people? Why? Why did the amalgamation of 1914 becomes a disaster? Why is the amalgamation of 1914 becomes inhuman treatment, injustice, everything is by force? Why? Why did the amalgamation brings killing that is going on today in our land, in every indigenous people? Then why did you come to the land of the indigenous people and you give them death? You give them injustice. You bring insecurity. We are asking, why did you Britain, why did the UK do such a thing in Africa? Moreover, in the Southeast, why? We are only human being that has the right to live. You told us that under self-defense, that it is our right to defend ourselves. It is our right to form a new country. You also put a criteria to make it to look like true. There is a criteria for people to have a new country. And when we are trying to do it, you come against us. You arrested the voice. You want to silence us so you can be able to continue finishing the pipe or a pipeline that we are planting from all the way Imo State to your so-called Europe. And you don't care whether the people are alive or they are dead, indigenous people. Your own is to make sure that you wipe every indigenous people out. We are going to prove some videos of what is going on in Benue, in North, and all over that death sentence called Nigeria. What amalgamation brought to us. So any case is going on today, the injustice in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is high because of how Nigeria was amalgamated. What you are seeing there is that because of Nigeria was not a country in the first place, rather it was just amalgamated and said, you are going to stay here. Because of the interest, because of what you will gain. And when you decide to do that, you took the power, you give to those who are killing the indigenous people, because you know that the indigenous people will stop you. The only thing you care is for what is coming out from our land. The only thing you care for is only the profit of the oil that we are taking from our land. Because you know that if you handed over the power after the 1914 amalgamation to the indigenous people, that they will stop you from taking the oil. And what happened? Because of the oil, you give power to those who are killing us. But we are telling you that a time is coming. It's fast approaching. When UK will cry, because what they did to us, the karma is real. The karma will backfire back in due time. And it's like I said, it's fast approaching. Now you are trying to chase away those that are not worshiping the same worship you do. From they say they are too much. Remember, the same way they come and take every position in the government is the same way they have taken position in UK today. The same people has taken every position, as you can see today. The same people are in charge of UK. So that is how they was also in charge in Nigeria, and a lot of things are going wrong. The time is fast approaching that you who refuse to do the right thing will do it by thunder, by force. Please do not just view the program. Please like and share this program to go viral. Please. If you're first time coming, you will see a 3 dot in front of your phone on your right, the way I am pointing my hand right now on your screen. Touch that 3 dot, it will open fully. You will see like and share. Subscribe to the YouTube page. This is Real Biafra TV. So we are going to be going into 1 or 2 things this morning. Our preamble this morning, I could normally do 30 minutes to do. We are going to use what is going on in Nigeria, what is happening in Nigeria, to do our preamble, so people may understand why we are sounding the way we are sounding. Because in the history, I find out that before the amalgamation, there is no war, there is no fight, there is no injustice, and there is nothing like that before the amalgamation. It's only after the amalgamation that the indigenous people start dying, start fighting, looking, and start killing people. That is the thing we have found out on our own. So that's why we are here to tell you, please take your amalgamation back. If you're not taking, the people of Biafra has rise up and do what? And take it by themselves to stop, to protect ourselves. When we are trying to protect ourselves, the most painful part of it is that they will come against us. They will arrest us. They want to silence our voice at all possible means. So, my people, the people of Biafra, that is why we rose up to end the injustice of the amalgamation. That is why we rose up to stop the killing of what? Of the amalgamation. That is why we rose up to make sure that we stop them from taking over our land so that Britain can continue taking the oil in our land, because they only love oil. They don't love human being. And when it's come to black, no. But when it's come to their own citizen, they show love. They show kindness. They will prove to you how they love them. And all that is going on in Nigeria, all that is going on all the killing that is going on in the indigenous people of Central land, they do not care about it. They only care for what? They only care for the oil that is powering them, that is making them to be rich. That is all they care for. Nothing more than that. So, for we to live as the Biafran people, we have stand up. We have did what? We have stand up to make sure that we seriously represent our life and also protect our people in a way that no one can take our life away from us. That the plans of the enemies did not work at all. The plans of Britain as an evil country who want the indigenous people to be wiped away could not be able to work in our own time. That is why we stand up on November 29, 2024 to make a declaration of a new country. To do what? To make a declaration of a new country that's called United States of Biafra, for us to save our life and for us to protect our border, for us to keep our home safe under self-determination. So nobody will stop us. And we, as the Biafran people, has finally raised up to defend our life, because we are not going to die because of Britain. What they wish us is death, but we turn it around by denouncing that thing they called the amalgamation of 1914. And once we denounce it, we have also denounced one Nigeria. That is why today, we as the Biafran people has rose up to make that our land is being guided. Remember that the vote is ongoing on in the 41 of in the three of the 40 states in the Biafra land. Our vote, the government of United States of Biafra are conducting vote of governor and their deputy. If you look at social media, you will see those that are voting. Yes, you will see those that are voting. You are voting where nobody is fighting you, where no gun, because on a day of election, nobody's supposed to carry gun, any arm to come there. Because of that, Nigeria is a country of arm, of country of amalgamation, of country that it cannot do anything without being by force. That is the country that Nigeria is. And that is why we, to avoid the killings, to avoid inhuman treatment, to avoid war, we stood up and make a declaration of United States of Biafra as a new country, that everyone has seen our achievement, that today that we have stand against all odds, that what is happening to other places will not happen to us, that we are going to be alive to make sure that we protect and secure, number one, our life and our properties. So let Britain know, or let UK know, that Biafra has been declared and they can never stop us. It's only we can stop ourselves. But now we have made it mandate, now we have made it compulsory that we as the Biafran people, that we must live, that we are not going to be perished away. Because if you remain silent, what is happening here will happen to members of our family, and it's already been happening. That is why we decided to say, no, let us move away from this enclave, this evil, this death sentence called one Nigeria. That is not going to be for us. And we denounce it by making a declaration of United States of Biafra on November 29, 2024. The mass burial of Christians is heartbreaking every day in Nigeria. Look at why we rose up and said no. This is the killing of the indigenous people. This is what the killing of the indigenous people by those that Britain, UK hand over Nigeria to. They kill with gun and bullets. They buy people every blessed day. They are buying people every blessed day. That is why we stood up to ask our rights by making our self-determination being known to the world, that leads to making a declaration of a new country that's called United States of Biafra. We love this country so much. This is our country. We are going to stop all these killings, all this chasing away the indigenous people. That is why Britain helped us, because that is why after Second World War, they told African people that if you allow them to be a country, they are going to bring many countries in Africa. Not allow them. Hope you are seeing killing over 51 people one day in a community. They are all Christians and they are Muslims. We are not going to dispute that fact, because we are not tribalistic people. We are fighting for every black, for every indigenous people to be free. That is why we are fighting to do what we are doing today. That is why we are letting the world know what we are passing through. That the only solution is what we have given them. What is that? Give us international recognition for us to join hands and stop these invaders, those killings, those Boko Haram that are buying people every blessed day. These people are very bad. They decided that they will wipe every indigenous person out. But because of that, we took on our heel and said no, on our tool and said no, it's not going to work. That we are going to do what? Destroy, we are going to make what? A declaration and move away from Nigeria, and we have done that. So support our government by giving us international recognition. We know the rule that Britain has played in the past, but the question is, are they still playing that rule again? They play a rule of stopping Biafra international recognition. That is the rule they played. See the country that we are talking about. Can you hear that? The Boko Haram, the bandits, they are shooting and chasing the indigenous people away from their land. You can see the run helter skelter. I hope you can hear it. They are, look at the indigenous people, they're running away. If you don't run, look at it. Look, this is what Britain calls to us. This is what UK calls to us. We will not stop calling them because of the evil they have committed in our land. Because of, if there is no amalgamation, there will be what? There will be nothing like killing that is going on
government
today.
is actually succeeding in making him a hero.
So, that is why we love someone like Ibrahim Traoré, who stood up to fight for his own people, who stood up to make a change in Africa. So we all should know where we are and where we are coming from, that the only way out is what we have achieved and what we have did by declaration of United States of Biafra that are going to stop the killing that is going on in Biafra land in all over. Go to our country today. There is armor tanker everywhere. They militarize our land. I'll be chasing and kidnapping and killing the indigenous people by this same Boko Haram that was rehabilitated and give them uniform. So we have understand where we are and what the solution is, what we have given the world. That is United States of Biafra Declaration is the solution. So let no one deceive you and do not panic, because we also telling UK that the aid you are giving to Nigeria, they are using it to buy weapons and give to Fulanese for them to buy the indigenous people. Because of Mazen Khan is not from Britain. He's not a white man. That is why after traveling with your passport and not even coming to Nigeria, to Kenya, another country, another foreign country, Nigeria went in there and kidnapped him, and you do nothing till today. You remain silent. This is maximum 5 years. None of you have started talking. There is no action. We want to let you know that placing Nigeria on a country of concern, yes, people will say it's good, is this. Yes, it is good, but there's something we must know. Placing Nigeria on a country of particular concern is not end of it. It's not to solve the problem. It's not a solution. The solution is letting everybody who want to have a new country and start on their own, like what we are presenting to you. Why is it solution? It is a solution because the border will be protected, despite Britain being greedy, despite UK being greedy, looking for oil in our land. And why they are not sucking, why they like what is going on is that because they knew that when the indigenous people take over their country, their territory, their land, that they are going to stop this pipe that is going from Imo State to Europe. You see why? They gain the interest. Because in the olden days, they said that black people are their gold and their property. You could imagine that. They are used us as to make money, that we are their money. So when you sit down, going on, you find out why Britain or UK remain the way they are. And that's why in my own, I will tell you that Britain is being made by Biafran oil. Britain is being made. UK is becoming a country today because of the oil coming on from our own land. And they did not give us free visa. Nothing. So we get nothing from that. Rather, they are the one getting, because the interest of the amalgamation is for them to gain from the oil. The amalgamation is for them to gain. For them to gain, they hand over, they by force us to stay together and hand over power to those that are going to be obeying what they want. Because know that in a normal circumstance of it, you can't control Igbo man. You can't control Biafra. They said that before 1914 amalgamation, that they are living and they are not bowing down to anybody. They just live on their own. That is why they give all these Fulani stooge the power for them to be offlighting the indigenous people. But we are telling the world to know that nothing will stop. And we also calling on UK to stop giving Nigeria aid. UK, stop giving Nigeria aid. The aid you are giving to them is to use it and buy weapons and give to Boko Haram and kill indigenous people. You are giving Nigeria aid, but Nigeria is owing all the country in the world. Look at this video. One minute. Let it open. Because whatever we are saying here is what is social media. We are not making stories in our own. No. We are bringing the way it is raw. Is where we are bringing it.
In 2021,
listen to this.
Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, was abducted by Nigerian security forces in Nairobi, Kenya. Since this detention, he has been subjected to torture and many other unpleasantries. A United Nations Rights Council report released a damning assessment of Nigeria's government's treatment and called for his immediate release. My right honourable friend from Camberwell and Peckham has worked tirelessly on behalf of Mr. Kanu and is urging the Foreign Secretary to do more to secure his release. Nigeria is a Commonwealth nation. It receives tens of millions in UK aid. It is one of the biggest benefactors of aid. Part of this aid support must be a commitment to human rights and upholding the right to fair trials. Mr. Canoe must be given access to a fair and due process. A British citizen travelling on the British passport should not be kidnapped in a third country and dragged to a Nigerian prison. The government needs to get much tougher.
Do you hear this from them? That they are giving millions of aid to Nigeria. That Nigeria is one of the countries they are giving millions of aid. I hope you can hear it from them. Then after you have given Nigeria these millions of aid, you are used to support them on the help of a human right or on the help of anyhow humanity. The question is, what is Nigeria doing with the aid you are giving to them? What they are doing with the aid is to kill the indigenous people, buy weapons, sponsored Boko Haram, sponsored Lakrawa, and many other new groups that are coming out. There is many other new groups that have joined in Nigeria because they want to make Nigeria a safe haven where they can be able to be attack any country they decide to attack in the nearest future. The aid you are giving to them is not given to the poor people. It's not using to build hospital. It's not using to build good roads. There is no school. That is why when any of these politicians sick, you will see them in your country, which you know very well. You will see them in France. The question is, with the oil they are claiming they have, they use by force to take from us, they cannot use it to build roads. They can't use it to construct a good hospital. No good market, no good school, nothing, no lights. And you are giving them aid. The only way you can say the aid is working is when the Boko Harams showcase their weapon that they've been offering to them. Remember, in 1967, the same you was the one who gave Nigeria a weapon to fight against the people of Biafra. The same you. The same way you was giving them aid in 1967 to 1970. It's the same way today. You are still giving them aid they used to buy weapon, ammunition, to take away the indigenous people. Every day, before 12 o'clock today, you hear news of how they attack people in all corners of Nigeria. The land, the people of Benue is crying. The people of Katsina, they are all part of Nigeria. They are crying because of the inhuman treatment, because of the killing that is going on in those areas. So that is why we, the Biafran people, said no. How could you, UK, give Nigeria aid for them to use to buy people, to kill the indigenous people? When we are romancing this word, you may do not understand it. When we use that word buy, you may not understand, but we are bringing it raw the way it is, so you may know how we are feeling. That the clean is too much. And you said, when insecurity comes, when inhuman treatment is going on, when abuse of rights, when intimidation is happening, that people are free to form their own government, their own country. That is on this junction we ask you a question. The right of self-defense, is it only for the white man? Is it only for you that has the right for self-defense? Why is it that when a black man, when Nelson Mandela fought for South Africa, you tag him terrorist? When somebody like Muammar Gaddafi rose up, you kill him and tag him terrorist. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you mentioned, is a Biafra president, was kidnapped with your own pastor, with your own passport, and rendition him down to Nigeria illegally for over 5 years. And today, you are coming out to come and talk. Are you sure that what you are saying is because of America has carried the have started saying it and other countries and other some NGO medias has started proving what is happening before you can come to talk? Where have you been since all these 5 years he has been incarceration? After you have as a citizen, what was the demand? Because of you know what he's fighting for. He's only fighting to give us a good life. He's only fighting to build a country like your own. And you know, because of that what he's fighting will stop you making our oil. You refuse to say a word. You refuse to take necessary action that's supposed to be done. So, my people, the Biafran people has rose up, and we are not going back. We stand up to make what? To make sure that we defend our land, we defend our life, because it's who is alive will defend his land and property. That is why you have United States of Biafra as your own government. That is why everything is going on smoothly. So my people, I want to understand this aspect. Now we are going in how Britain stopped Biafra International Organization and how they use Africa organization to stop more Africans who could have recognized us. In this secret document of Britain stopping Biafra for international recognition, Britain single-handedly handled this on their own. That is why no foreign country who is a member of UN give Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu international recognition. Rather, they are placing their button, bribing some country, giving them money to shy away. In 1967 to 1970. That is why we are still here today. So now that we have made our official declaration, we have already know that you stopped us in 1967 to 1970. We are not going to allow you to do that again. That's why you know the difference of those who are piloting the affair of the Biafran people. That's why you will know those who are in charge, how strong and how smart they are. Because what you have done in the past, you are still doing it. That is why you're giving Nigeria aid. If you give Nigeria aid and people are dying every day and you see all this killing, can't you think what they do with the aid you're giving to them, that they are not using it for what they told you? Rather, they are using it to sponsor terrorism, killing all over the country. So my people, we are going to know how Britain did this and how they use Africa to stop us also. All these things are very imperative that we as the different people pay attention, that we understand the game that we are into. So we may be blocking every corner. We may be able to let Britain know that we understand what they did in the 1970s. That is exactly what we all have to do. So listen to this as we are going in. Please pay attention. Thank you for your advice. I accepted it. Thank you so much.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to the Nigerian government. The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle. 1. Paramount economic interest: oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy. Protecting Shell BP's assets, the Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense. Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory. Mitigating domestic shortfalls, the 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. 2. Geopolitical principle: preserving colonial borders. Fear of fragmentation. If Biafra's secession was recognized, Britain feared it would set a catastrophic precedent for the rest of Africa. Nearly all post-colonial African states contained multiple ethnic groups within artificial borders drawn by European powers. Upholding OAU policy. Britain's position aligned with the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which generally opposed any attempt to redraw colonial boundaries. They feared that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict. How Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure Biafra failed. 1. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat at the United Nations and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries, convincing them that supporting the FGN was essential for maintaining order and stability in Africa. 2. Arms and logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to the Nigerian military. This material support was instrumental in giving the FGN the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces. 3. Public relations. The British government worked to help the FGN improve the presentation of its policies to counter the international public opposition caused by the widespread starvation and famine in Biafra. Due to the immense pressure exerted by Britain and its allies, Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. This lack of major international support ultimately contributed to Biafra's surrender in January 1970. The video, The Nigerian Civil War Explained documentary, provides a detailed look at the conflict and the involvement of foreign powers.
I hope you listen with me. I hope you heard it, how they stop us. What happened to us in 1967 is not a child's play. It's something bigger, something huge. That is why the Biafran people look like we did not finish, or we did not become a country then, because Britain had it here. This is their secret document, how they stopped Biafra in territorial organization, or how they stopped Biafra from being a country. I hope you are listening. This is what they did to us. That's why the Biafran people are one of the most strongest. They thought they wipe us away. But because of we are ordained, or we are the image of God, they do nothing. Look at, we're here today. Still talking about that thing they stopped in 1967 to 1970. They stopped it. So it's very happy, or it's very good that we know those who stop us from getting international recognition. That wasn't enough for Britain because of their evil mind. They still proceed to Africa, to follow Africa and tell them. You have what they tell them, but when we get there again, then we explain so deep. So you see, and also remember, when we played a history of who we are before the amalgamation, and what they told them after Second World War and during the World War, why they don't have to recognize Biafra as a country. Because of one interest, oil, nothing more than that. And they lied against us. UK lied against us. Britain lied against us. The question I will begin to ask, this Frederick Lolugard that handles amalgamation, in which part of British this man is? Because in which part of British that he came from? Because what this man did is in fact, it's imaginable something that he did to us. Somebody who caused the death of over 5 million people, and still counting till today. People are killing every blessed day. In general, people are killing in large number every blessed day. Let us listen to a second time, then we'll now move into the way we normally do it here. We'll start yesterday, we finished number 1. Today we're on the second, on number 2 of it. Today is the day of the second article of it, and to finish it up.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to the Nigerian government. The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle. 1. Paramount economic interest: oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy. Protecting Shell BP's assets, the Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense. Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory. Mitigating domestic shortfalls, the 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. 2. Geopolitical principle: preserving colonial borders. Fear of fragmentation. If Biafra's secession was recognized, Britain feared it would set a catastrophic precedent for the rest of Africa. Nearly all post-colonial African states contained multiple ethnic groups within artificial borders drawn by European powers. Upholding OAU policy, Britain's position aligned with the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which generally opposed any attempt to redraw colonial boundaries. They feared that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict. How Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure Biafra failed. 1. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat at the United Nations and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries, convincing them that supporting the FGN was essential for maintaining order and stability in Africa. 2. Arms and logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to the Nigerian military. This material support was instrumental in giving the FGN the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces. 3. Public relations. The British government worked to help the FGN improve the presentation of its policies to counter the international public opposition caused by the widespread starvation and famine in Biafra. Due to the immense pressure exerted by Britain and its allies, Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. This lack of major international support ultimately contributed to Biafra's surrender in January 1970. The video, The Nigerian Civil War Explained documentary, provides a detailed look at the conflict and the involvement of foreign powers.
I hope you listen to this carefully. Now, we are going to start from number 2, because we did number 1 yesterday. Why the amalgamation? Why everything? Just because of one thing: oil. Oil is the only one thing that made Britain committed this genocidal war against us with Nigeria. It's only because of oil that is in our land. They told that if they allow, in general, when they are lying to people, they told if you allow them to have imagine how could we have in our own country? We generate many fracas, many country border disputes in Africa. Do you see the level of lie that Britain told? Because that is why everything about Nigeria is lie. Because the faulty foundation was laid on the lying aspect. That is where you have the economy. If one person will come and tell you his name is Lai Mohammed, and he's lying, really. They did everything. They stopped us in 1967 to 1970. They stopped us, really. You can have it here. When we go down today, you will see 3 ways that you ask yourself why. You are in your own country. You after someone for him to not have his own country. You in your own house, you are telling another man that he should not eat whatever that hungries him, and you are the one to tell him how he will live his life. Why you are in your own? That is why I said that these people called Britain committed a crime that is unforgivable in this world. The crime that Britain committed is unforgivable. Or that's the truth, because the killing that is going on today caused by Britain. The one that happened in 1967 to this day also caused by what? By Britain also. My people. Because everything that is going on, we must understand it clearly. Sorry, my people, if I didn't mention your name, there's an attack on the page, so I am no longer seeing message direct on the gadget I am using for live. So please, on the last side I'm seeing, I just say let me check. Just let me check. So I see you. Thank you so much for coming. Chibuya Zede, I can see you. Thank you. Equi TV, thank you so much. My brother, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. These are those that are here. And also Michelle White, thank you so much. Abarosia, good morning from here. Good morning. Isiweke, good morning from here. Peter, good morning from here. I thank you all for being here. Good morning, good morning. So please keep your comments coming. I will be checking on the other side. So I will be seeing your comments. You see how far or how long that Britain went for them to stop Biafra. Even to the extent of using their own money to lobby another countries. A white man lobby his own fellow white man for us do not have a Biafra as a country. Do you understand it? It's only somebody who is greedy and envy. The envy, the greedy, the jealousness of Britain to Biafra people are too much. That is why they stand on. There is one of the videos when you check the Biafran genocidal war, you will see a Britain pointing at a Biafran man in front of him. Even though this guy denied that he's not a Biafran, that he's supporting one Nigeria, Britain was there. A white man standing there, and by this guy, they shot him to death and threw him inside bush. You ask yourself, what is our crime? What is the crime that we have committed? Just own that God to give us a mineral resources. That is just our problem. That's the crime we committed. That we have this, and we said, okay, with all this we have, let us have our own new country. And Britain come fully against us. When Britain come fully against us, cite the oil. He did not cite there is gold in the north. There is gold in Jigawa. And Britain could not see it. The only way his eyes enters in a Biafra land that caused the war, that caused the amalgamation, that make them to by force everyone accept to be a one Nigeria. My people. Hello, Mekwan. These people that call Britain, these people that call England, UK, or whatever they might be calling them today, I don't care, because what they did, every problem, every insecurity, every killing that is going on is sponsoring by them, by their aid they are giving. So Nigeria used their aid to continue buying weapons, to giving the Boko Haram people, to be killing the indigenous people. These are truths that we almost know. I hope you are following. So let us go deep and bring it down to every layman understanding. I hope that my voice is coming out, please. Can someone confirm if my voice is coming out? Because I can't see. Let me check from the other side. I hope my voice is coming at my people. Can someone confirm? Love day, good morning from here. I salute you. Love day, you are the last person. Okay, thank you, Chibuzede. Thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate you for always being here and answer very fast. Thank you for that. So, we are going to play that voice again. We are going to play this particular secret document of Britain again. When we play it, then we will pause it, we will analyze it, starting from number 2. That is from where we will start to do our exposition this morning. So let us see how it goes.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts.
Britain actively worked to block Biafra international recognition. Our message to those that Britain sent a message that time. Now you can see why they blocked us. That all the lies they told you about us is not true. All the lies that Britain, all the propaganda Britain run on us, that sent as a message to you is a lie. Number 1, before the amalgamation, we are peace-loving people. We live honest and clean life. That is who we are before the amalgamation. So, we only wanted to have our own country, build a country where people can come talk. Where when you sick, I don't have to travel to UK for me to be better. I don't have to go to any country because the Biafran people has all it takes for them to be a country of their own and build whatever they want and build one of the most beautiful in the world. That is what our country is supposed to be. But Britain been citing this in us. Then they told you, do not give recognition. If they give recognition, they are going to create more countries. 1, before the Aga Idu Noba, they could make a warrior, they could make a war. The so-called Britain understand that these people are too unique. That they said in that document of who we are before the amalgamation of 1914. They say we live a very peaceful life. We live a life of democracy. We live a decent life. That is what the document said to us. We see this democracy the world are practicing today. They are all landed from us. They say that we are Republicans in nation. In that document. So when you look at what Britain did to us, and when you see those who are there fighting against the United States of Biafra declaration, then you will know that they are the same people that Britain has started paying money again to stop our international recognition. But I want Britain to know there is nothing you can do on this 21st century to stop our international recognition because the world is open and we are seeing in social media today. In 1967 to 1970, the level of media, the level of YouTube, the level of Facebook, the level of things that we have now, we did not have it now. That is why we can. And also, Britain committed this crime to us by being in charge to control the medias and paying them money. Tell them what to talk and what not to talk. That is why that there is no appropriate news channel who is carrying what is going on in Biafra when we are fighting. And without that, a lot of information. Ojuku did not know that just a few days that America has turned against Nigeria to support Biafra. And he withdrew because of too much of advice of our people. Because of what? Because of our people claim they too know it. Because our people claim that the advice is the one. And what happened? The over-advised, the impatient, makes Chukwuemeka Odumegwu because of the level of killing. And sometimes emotion make him to stop the fight. And today, what is happening to us is what you ask yourself. It would have been far more better if we fought then and finish it up instead of another day, instead of another year. But Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu, without knowing that, oh, America is coming, and he did what? He succumbed because the pressure is much on him. Hope you are following. Remember that our line is on in case if you want to call this morning to put your voice on what we are doing. The number to call is +97336051337. That is the number to call if you wish to call on this hallowed platform this morning. So please, that one depends on your time and your strength and your voice. So if you want to call us, remember the line is +97336051337. That is the number to call. I see you, Love Day. Thank you so much. I see you, Emmanuel. Good morning from here. I see you, Kennedy. You are welcome also. Thanks so much for. I see you, Chigozie, my brother. You are welcome. Thank you so much. I greet all of you. Thank you for being here. The one I used to, the gadget I'm using on the live program, there is an attack. I can't see any message from there. You just stand there like that. So that I start checking from the other side if there is something going on, and there is. So, but we are not going to stop. So, as we are moving, please also like and share as you come in. So, another people that will know that may know that we are live this morning and we are direct this morning. So, please like and share the program. Like and share. You have had it one thing in your mind today that Britain, UK single-handedly block Biafra international organization. That wasn't enough. They also blocked in Africa also. That's what you're listening. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to Nigeria government. There is 3 ways they did this. We are going to learn it today. We are going to educate ourselves on it. In 3 ways they stop our words international recognition. That is why if you see anybody in Britain who is praising Britain, you don't know what he's praising. If anybody is in UK today, you don't know what this will do to you. If you know, you will just go there and leave.
And direct military support to the Nigerian government. The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle. 1. Paramount economic interest: oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy.
Do you hear that? That this is the paramount economic interest, oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government policy. The policy of that British give to Nigeria was meant because of the oil. That is why the law is not favored by you and I. That is why you are seeing injustice. That is why you are seeing inhuman treatment. That is the law that because of oil. So the law was, or the justice was, to wipe every indigenous people away so these people can take over. So Fulani will continue taking the land, and while Britain will continue taking the oil. And those ones, they believe in land grabbing, thought that is the way it is. They never knew that a day will come when such thing will put an end. I want us also to understand this, that there is no one Nigeria except oil. Nothing like one Nigeria except oil. And the one Nigeria we know now is one Nigeria that is a death sentence to every indigenous person. Because Britain is telling us here that why they do water, because of what? Because of the oil. That they don't want any law that will come from the indigenous people. I am telling you who is Oduduwa today, who is at Arewa today, that you know that if Biafran people had this oil, like our president Mazan can make into one of his brokers, he said that we are going to give this oil free into some countries, both you, who is Oduduwa, free. We're going to give it to you, who is Arewa, free. Why do you have to do that? Because now, when I have, you have, nobody will envy each other. Are you following? And our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ebanjoko, told us that Biafra we are building is brain-based Biafra, not Biafra based in oil. Because the countries where we are doing well, do we have oil there? The answer is purely hell no. There is no oil in the countries where we are staying. But are we not living? Are we not from there going to build houses in our central home? But the question is, now that this thing you did is not favorable to people, why can't you come back and say no? Because the interest is to finish the pipeline from Imo State to Europe. Then that is why you can see how cunning they are. The British also told us as of last year or last 2 years that in 2013 that Nigeria will become a failed state. Could you imagine? Could you believe such a thing? So, my people, let us continue.
Protecting Shell BP's assets, the Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense. Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory, mitigating domestic shortfalls.
To make sure, you hear the word, it's like order, autocracy, very authoritative word, that they make sure that Nigeria remain in power so they can be able to protect the border, the territory. Which territory? To take away the Biafran territory. That is why you see Fulanis today, because they will not fly from up and enter. They must do it from border to border. That is why they are fighting so to chase away people of Benue State. Because once they grab Benue State, they have entered Akwa Ibom, they have entered Enugu State, and we again, Biafra land and Imo. They are already in our land already. We all know that they are already in our land. But because of how this it is, they are hiding themselves. That is it. So, it's very imperative that now that we have declared Biafra, that we understand who is our enemy. And we know that he's against our declaration also, because this declaration, Biafra, that's what he was avoiding from 1967 to amalgamation of 1914. That thing is happening. He was afraid that the Biafran people will take over their territory and they will not get the oil again. Could you imagine? Are you following? So, if there is no oil in Biafra land, there will be never one Nigeria. If there is no oil in Biafra land, there will be never one Nigeria. One Nigeria is because of the oil. That is why I had one Nigeria. That's why they told they told you in time of the war that they made everything possible to support Nigeria. That is the way they will penalize Nigeria to fight against us. Is the way they are sending their arm and ammunition into our land today to make that the Southeast governors wipe us away. Are you following? I hope we are making common sense, my people. I hope that we are making common sense that deserve people to hear about what we are doing. I hope we are making common sense. Please like and share the program. It's very important if you do so. So you have had it all. You have had it from today. That's the only reason why Britain did the amalgamation after they have destroyed the waters of warrior. After they have destroyed them on December 1913, then on January 1914, the amalgamation hold because they know that the water of Ekumeku will stop them from having the oil the way they want to have it. They knew. What happened? They first wiped the indigenous people. Imagine the atrocity first. Imagine the audacity of Britain entering into our land in 1920s to search and know who we are. And they go back and plan and come after us. They did not come just alone. They buy people in Ahaba, where they call Asaba today. And you know, though they always claim that they are not a Biafran, they are not Igbo, but they are witnessing 4 market days. That's why that's one. They are also doing what? They are also witnessing the impunity that is going on. So, the only thing I want you to know that Britain is the one that helped Nigeria to, they are the one who carries the failure of Biafra as a country in 1914 because they want us to continue dying. If they say that they don't want us to continue dying, then why did they support Nigeria? And why did they block us? Why did they play political movement on us by coming to Africa, lying to African countries that if you allow people to have their own country, that they are going to create more country and there will be a border land dispute and border problems here and there. Now that wasn't enough. They go on the diplomatic or international level and tell their foreign countries, do not recognize them. Or if you get recognition, they are going to create more country. Are you seeing? Jennifer, you're welcome. Good morning from here. It's morning from my own location. Good morning. So, what else do you want again to know? Why Britain is doing what they are doing? They are only doing this because it's from where they build up the Britain or UK, where you are today. That is the only way they build it up. So, my people, we must know our enemy. Not for us to go and attack them, but to plan our own strategies, the way that we are going to defeat them woefully. Everything within is what we have to use to make that we stop these evil people.
The 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations.
Do you hear that?
Geopolitical principle, preserving colonial borders, fear of fragmentation. If Biafra's secession was recognized, Britain feared it would set a catastrophic precedent for the rest of Africa. Nearly all post-colonial African states contained multiple ethnic groups within artificial borders drawn by European powers.
Do you hear it? That Britain, Onindibeliza, that they are afraid, they fear that if Biafra secession was recognized, British, their business will fail. It would set a product of the rest of Africa. When the British find out who we are, And they become afraid for us to be a country. And also said, if you allow them to be a country, they are going to create more countries in Africa. You are not from Africa. Why are you the one telling our forefathers? And they cheapishly believe in that. Why are you the one telling our forefathers what they would do? Why are you here? Why is Britain doing what they did is the question. Because of what? Oil. You can hear it here. They are the one who create the borders of Africa. That is why I am of the opinion that's called that everything that happens should be revisited back and find out what really happened. That is why when there is no past, there is no present. So Britain single-handedly stopped us. They did not just stop us from getting for their own side. They come into Africa. That is why only 4 Africa, only 4 give Biafra the recognition we are seeking for. So you can see how evil they are because of business. So Britain using Africa, to fight against us is what is the meaning of that? If you may ask, what is the meaning of Britain using our Africa? Today, what is happening in the struggle we are into? Now we are in the liberation phase. They are also using our people also through Nigeria agents. Some Nigerians, some people that are seen today messing up, go 247 and all of them, they have collected money from Nigeria and they start Britain. The same thing that Britain did in that olden time is what they are doing today. So that is the area that you need to listen to. Why they stop us? Because of oil. And also they stop us. They lied to our forefathers. They lied to Africa. That is why the African people must rise. And they drop all these illusions, drop all these things that come from the white man. They are not helping us, they are harming us. What white man brought to us is not to save us, but rather to wipe us away. That is the pure truth, without missing words. This is a pure truth without missing words. So, if Britain can go as far as doing that, doing lobby some country, doing that they lobby some country on behalf of, do not give them recognition, then the world, you see why you need Biafra. Because we are peace-loving people. We respect every laws, and we abide by the law of your country. Whatever is told is what we do. So that's history from Frederick Lolugar, the evil, the Satan himself. It's not working. It's not working. You could have not been a pay attention on that. So we, the Biafran people, want to join our voice with countries in Africa who are doing good. Despite the killing, despite the injustice, despite the intimidation, despite the abuse of our rights, we still stand strong. We stand what? Strong. Because you can't take us away just like that. Nearly all post-colonial Africa states continue multiple ethnic groups with article borders drawn by European power. That our borders was even also them are the one who give us the border, African border they are using today. They are the one. Do you see how far they went for them to stop us having our recognition? And what was our offense? Because we have oil, and because of that we must wipe away. It doesn't work that way. That is why we are here. To make a change, to let you know those things, so that now that we have a government, they will also hear information and also know how to handle those things. And we are telling the world that everything that Nigeria told them about us is a lie. America, Germany, Italy, France. What Nigeria, what British presents to you about us is not true. The only our faults, the only our problem, the only thing that we did wrong is like that is the place they burn us and there is oil. That is only the that is what we are. That is a crime that we have committed. Despite this, there is no other crime. The pains of Biafra, of British against us is that why did God created us in that particular area of the rising sun? Why did God who created us in the rising sun? Britain, leave us alone. UK, leave us. We are not the owner of our life. We are not the one who created ourselves. It's God that put us where we are, in the path of the rising sun. So it's only when you know that Biafra will die, it's when you stop the sun from rising in our area. If you can stop sun from rising, that is only when you're going to stop us. But if not for that, look at where we are today. After 1967 to 1970, look at we here talking about Biafra and making official declaration for the second time. What are you going to tell the world against all this time around? UK. What are you going to tell about us? Started with lies, and you end up in lies. That is why Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is not a workable place because of the foundation was built with lies and evil. That is why Britain come down and cause people mass burial every week, every month, every year. How many? Is it how people are dying in your country? In that you are UK, that you are British, that is you are England. Is it how people die? Over 51 people died one day. They buy them by who? By the bandits. My people. That thing that you are afraid of could have saved life that are people that died today in Nigeria. Because if you have given us recognition from 1967 to 1970, if you did not block our way because of you were white, you feel your fellow white brother talk, he pays more attention than me. This is how we lose things. This is how things happen. There wasn't enough there. When they try on their own, they could not accomplish it on their own everything. They have to recruit someone from in the midst of us. That is why today, Shetima told you, you don't need to fight them. What we have to do is to weaponize their youth, to buy gun and give their youth. They will kill themselves. Today they are using Ijele, the Chukwuka. They are using Chibuze Egwato. They are using very dark man to build those that are going to attack Igbo people. And it's our brothers they are building, they are recruiting. So if you have such a recruiting, disappear before you buy there. They want to use you to fight us again because now Britain know there is no amount of force how he's going to save Nigeria for the second time. That is why they leave everything in the open. My people, can you see? You see why when we move forward, enemies will be plenty, enemies will come more. Because Britain, the aid they are giving to Nigeria is only for two things: corruption, sponsor the Boko Haram, and sponsor those who are going to attack United States of Biafra as a country. But the question is, you will be here and everything will happen. So on this second time, we are not relenting, we are not coming down. The only thing we care for that will make us happy is our recognition under the UN charters and members to guide us to make sure that this time around we did everything humanly possible to regain our country and our territorial of our own border. So, my people, we must continue. We still on number 2. We are still on number 2.
Upholding OAU policy. Britain's position aligned with the Organisation of African Unity, OAU, which generally opposed any attempt to redraw colonial boundaries. They
Do you hear something? That's one they did in their own country with their white people wasn't enough. They come to Africa upholding OAU policy. What is upholding OAU policy? Is upholding Britain law that favors them to take oil away to take things in Africa. And our people did not reason very well before they accepted. So why? Britain option alleged with the Organization of Africa. Do you see? Their movement was been alleged that is they are together. He come down. Nigeria brings the gentleman they have and promise him something for him to be here. Nothing. Even if the Britain is here, we are not going to stop. So using Africa to stop our international recognition is only what we have achieved. That is the pure truth. So the policy of Britain in Africa, is it the best one? The question is, are they still using it in Africa today? In African Charter, there is area I see exactly what is in the UN. I say, wow. So the attempt to drop or chase away colonial master, they know that we are about to do it when we are fully country. That is why they're against us and want us to wipe away so they can be able to occupy everything by themselves. But it doesn't happen that way because Chukwu Okabiyam is with us. And he will never allow us. In which generally opposed any attempt to renew colonial power. We are going to resist this colonial power in the due time. Now that we are in government, now that we have a new country, and we also have effective government that is capable of doing everything for us, waiting for some document that they are waiting for to come. So I want you to understand it perfectly that the Biafran people has choose again that Britain, no matter how you lobby the world, no matter how you become eyes, leg, hand, mouth, nose for Nigeria, it's not good because left for them alone, they cannot do it for one month. It's left for Nigeria. They cannot win us. We already outlined them. If we can stand for 3 years without any functioning weapon, what of today? That is why a call for self-determination is not a crime. But it is a crime. When it's come to Africa, when it's come to Biafra, it becomes a crime. You oppose your law to guide you OAU. Why for? For them to, whatever you say, for them to do it that way. They see you as one of the most superior. Whenever you are representing yourself that way, you are going to fall down. Because Britain must fall. What they did to us, we come back to them. Because we, the Biafra people, never fought anybody first time. We never fought any war with any of these foreign countries. Why Britain single-handedly fought with us? Collected all the aid he can. And the fight against those who did not do them anything happened to be the Biafran people. Do we arrest any of them? Do we committed any crime in their country before the amalgamation? This is the question that we are asking. And why Britain decided in 1970 to give weapons to Nigeria? The so-called a so-called OAU accepted, their upsets are very down. They are not thinking. So we let OAU to know which happen to be AU or EU right now. We are telling you that those lies they told you is to destroy you. Because Biafra could have served all the Africa. By now, we have had enough of country we want, and we could have become one of the best area you go to toilet because our brain is very hot. And people, you see how they use African Union to do what? You see how they use them to support us, to destroy us, but rather use it to support one Nigeria. That's why I ask you a question. These people called Britain, are they not evil? Professor AJ, good morning from here. I can see from the other guy. Sorry that I didn't see you in time. The main gadget I use for this program, there's attack there. Even sometimes my video will be shaking, so I cannot see any comments there. Unless I go to the other one I used to read this document. So please. My people, between Britain and devil, is there anything? Do you know that sometimes devil is better than Britain? Sometimes a devil, a pure devil, is because the devil I know is Britain, Frederick Lugard. Frederick Lugard is the devil I'm seeing. With all his evil strategies against those who did not plan anything for him. And we are calling on those that Britain lied to, all the Africans. We are calling on you who are a member of African organization for you to stand up and understand why they lied to you. You can see it clearly. For you to not be free. For them to be the one that will be in charge, or did they buy? Could you imagine such a thing that is happening? So you can see how Britain single-handedly stopped us. Their own stopping us wasn't enough. Then they now come to Africa. Oh, you can see evidence is going on that Britain is evil. Britain is Satan. Britain is demon. Britain is winch. Anything at all. That's who they are. We must continue. Because these people that is why we must expose them with all their evil plan. I never knew that Britain was the one who stopped us from getting terror of the nation. I thought because of the Ojukwu could not be able to achieve that. So everything that we are going to do in future, Britain will pay dearly because they made us to lose over 5 million children. Our father, our mothers. That is those who were killed because of Britain. Britain, you are so evil. So the people of Africa also who joined them, what are you going to say? That is why you can see today, Ibrahim Traoré has refused those things they said against us then. I hope you got from where I am coming from now. Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso president right now has understand it and he refused. He's refused make France with Britain to put all manner of insurgency, Boko Haram's, banditry to Burkina Faso. But I tell you that he's wiping them away without wasting time. Is kind of a thing that we needed. What Ibrahim Traoré is doing right now. That is why you must hail him. That's why you must thank him for all he's due. Because immediately Biafra becomes a country, what he's seeking shall be granted immediately. Because we are people from the rising sun, and nobody will stop us, my people. Nobody will stop us, because it is our right into what we are doing. So And this is why we are writing, calling on Donald Trump, calling on all well-meaning worlds, lovers of freedom, those who value human rights, to come and join us and give us our international recognition. That is only one that we are asking. We are not asking more than that. We, Biafran people, are not asking more than that. So, my people, we must be strong to change the narrative that Britain passed out about us. But now we want those words to know why they passed those information to you. It's because of he wants countries taking our oil. All the interest of those lies, those work they did for Nigeria is for them to take our oil by force in our own territory. Hope it's clear today. This is their secret document they kept. How Britain single-handedly, they said effortlessly, fight against Biafra, having stopped Biafra recognition. Britain did it to us. And people are there today, making mockery of themselves in social media, talking rubbish. Can you imagine? Those who did all this to us, they stop it on their own in the Ocha. They come to our own black people also, use it on to stop us also. That is why Biafra, that is why how they use those who follow Mazda account to betray him. Today they use Ogen to betray my Simon Eber. Do you see what Britain is doing? That narrative of Britain are still working inside out. That is why there is saboteurs everywhere. My people, let's continue. Sorry.
Feared that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict.
Do you hear it? That Nigeria, as one of the key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict. That is only what that is. You see the only areas they will use to convince you, the only areas that they will use to tell you, oh, you will say it's true, is what they are doing. Now, when they tell that this is going to bring a widespread, we are not going to, okay, it's not going to bring a number to match you. How many countries made up of Africa? 54. Then, how many made up of this Britain? How many countries made up of Europe in general? The number we have today in Africa and the number that is in Britain, which one is bigger? The number that is in Europe and Africa, which one? And they come. They first do what? Condemn us and they try to tell our fellow brothers who is in Africa through organization that, oh, if they give them this their country, they are going to create more countries and there will be more unstable in the territory. But when Kosovo want to be a country, allow him to be a country. But then when you want to live and you live, because at that time it's not going to be instability, but it's only when the black man, when Biafran people stood up for their rights, there will be instability everywhere. There will be unstable. There will be land dispute. There will be border problem. Imagine. And our people accepted it. The question I'm asking on comment section, if somebody may correct me, is this: how many countries made up of Europe and how many made up of Africa? We and them, who need more countries? Is it not we that are small, that they are bigger than us? Okay, let us use the World Cup to example. Only 5 Africa going to World Cup. Count how many Europe, how many Asia that are coming in. Go and count. Out of the number that are coming to World Cup, check how many Africa is coming. That is how you know the population we are talking about. They are bigger. They want us to always look small. They want to always feel this way. Oh, that they are white people, whatever they said is correct. It's not correct anymore, because that is why Ibrahim told, that is why Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal chase those away from their country. Because they are bringing impunity. They are bringing instability. You are the one who is bringing instability. You are the one bringing what? Instability in our countries. If you stay away and hold on in your country, the many instability will not going to be there, because the level of weapon that you weaponize those people, nobody will give that weapon again. They will all disappear. But because of you are sponsoring them, give them the kind of ammunition, give them the kind of armor they need, you give them whatever they wanted. And while the indigenous people are dying, you don't care because of the oil. So, my people, Britain, is it UK right now, or what are they calling them? So, we are not going to fail for this second. That's why I told you that they have paid Ogenkere them for them to make Biafra a failed state again. We can never. That is why, no matter paying Ogenkere, no matter paying all these people that are attacking against the government, they will let us know the right thing. Because, and the is now on the Igbo, now about somebody, Mamri Shafaro. So, do not panic this time around. The government are doing everything humanly possible to get, even if it is only one recognition, is enough. From there, we build our nation. Then those ones we ask Nigeria to vacate from our land. I hope you are listening to this. How another person will stay on his own, and the other person's country become his problems, where he wants to come, and when they come, they use what? African people. Nigeria should be, now that America has put them in a country of consign, the so-called any organization that Nigeria is into must remove them, sanction them, revoke their mandate. These are the things that we have to know, because without knowing it, we will thought that Britain is just only oil. No, the oil is interest of killing the Biafran people. That is why they will penalize Nigeria to fight against the indigenous people. Could you imagine that? And hand over the power to them. They felt that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and the one of the largest states, would allow to break up the recent. So if they allow us to break up from Nigeria, what happens? They say that we are going to create more countries in Africa, and there will be going to be more war in Africa. Could you imagine? You that is in Europe, you that is in Europe, how many war are you fighting? It's our inalienable rights to choose who are going to govern us. That's what he told us. So has it changed? What has changed?
How Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure Biafra failed.
Listen, Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure that Biafra becomes a failed state in 1967 to 1970. I hope you get here clearly. Britain supports the federal government of Nigeria in three main ways to ensure that Biafra becomes a failed state. After they have tried to use what we're supposed to use and use that guy against us. Go and lobby countries in the world for them to recognize us as a country. Could you imagine? And does such a person deserve to have a handshake with you? The answer is no. We'll continue.
1. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat at the United Nations and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries, convincing them that supporting the FGN was essential for maintaining order and stability in Africa. 2.
Hey, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat as the UN nation. That time, Britain is very powerful in the UN nation. They sit and block everywhere. That is why our matter did not cross in. And it's a diplomatic network to lobby other countries. Do you hear it? That Britain lobby other countries for them to stop terrorizing Biafran people. For they do not. What is these people? Because of what? Oil and gas in our land. That is why Britain lobby other countries, convince them that the support that they have to support the federal government of Nigeria was extremely for maintaining order and stability in Africa. Could you imagine that we that are peace-loving people, we that are Republican in nature, we that are democracy, is going to bring unstable? Hey. That's why I never believe. I told them, you people lie more than a black man. Eh? I hope you on this particular number one you grab something. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat as the UN nation and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries concerning them that they have to support Nigeria government. That if they support Biafra as a new country, then that we are going to bring that if they do not support us, support only Nigeria, they are maintaining order and stable. But if they give us recognition that they are bringing instability, could you imagine? You see why they are not calling for Nnamdi Kanu since over 5 years, except of this recent one that is happening. Do you see the reason? That is why we, the Biafran people, have stood up and said no to all this injustice, to Britain on its own. So I want the countries who Britain, African people, to know why they said no to us. And you supported them. You supported instead of you to put your voice with us. They supported them. So they can continuously bringing us our number down, and why their own is increasing. That's what happened. Oh, only that to the Biafran people, because they understand who we are more than we, this Britain. They come, they do take time to study us. They said that if you check the document of who we are before amalgamation, you now told us that we are Republicans in nature. We are Republicans in nature. We are democracy on our own. We live peacefully and happily. So, my people, is that this Britain, even our people that are there, supposed to be very careful. Look at their lies on us. Look at their intimidation on us. Look at how they destroyed what Chukwuemeka fought for 3 years. He was fighting, and Britain was busy carrying torch, moving around, lobbying countries. Imagine to instead of lobbying some countries for them to not recognize us as a country. Imagine. Could you believe that? I never knew that Britain went to this extent until when I met this document. I never knew. I never believed it. How they stopped Biafra. Oh my God. We are somehow still under attack. I hope we are still here, because I know that we were under attack some minutes ago. I hope my voice is still coming out, my people. Please, can someone confirm for me if my voice is still coming out? Can someone confirm if I'm still here? Yes, thank you, Chico, for that. Thank you so much. Brother AJ, they was trying to force Zambia government then in 1969 to withdraw recognition from Biafra independence. Yeah, not only them, the 4 countries who recognized Biafra, they forced them to withhold the recognition. They did not even want one country, one, to give recognition. They did not. Because of their lobby. You know how they can lobby. When Biafra war is going on, Britain was busy having conference meeting and cooking food, rice, and giving people. Because of, you know what he will gain. That is why when Mazen Khan comes out, they wanted to do anything to take Mazen Khan away. They thought that by then Mazen Khan could have wiped out. But who can't be who keep Mazen and the Khan? You can see it clearly who Britain is. That's why I said Britain is the senior brother of Satan. Why Satan is the father? These are pure truth. These are facts and figures. Lobbying other countries. That's the one that shocked me is that Britain lobby other countries for them to stop giving us international recognition. Child, what is our offense? We have oil. This is number one. Let us go to number two.
And logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to the Nigerian military. This material support was instrumental in giving the FGN the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces.
Number two, not only lobbying other countries, so arm and logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to Nigerian military. Hey, and Nigeria will claim they fought with Biafran people, they lose. We never lose the war. It's because of Britain single-handedly fought the war for. It's a war of one country against the entire country. Because see what Britain did here now? In number one, diplomatic influence. Do not recognize them. They will bring more countries. They will bring more problems. That is one thing. This material support was instrumentally in giving the FG the diverse military aid needing to defeat the Biafra force. Do you hear that? If you know that Britain bring their own weapon, they could have never defeated Biafran military. Because we are strong. We understand what we are doing. As we need right now. They give weapon, arms and ammunition. They give it to Nigerian military. They support them. I told you, I come across a video when a Biafran, the Nigerian military captured a Biafran. A British man was there live. And because he was there, he could not ask them to spare the guy. He told them, he gave them a sign, they wipe away. Britain will pay dearly for the crime of the terrorist in our land. The time is coming. They are the ones sponsoring Nigeria. Only their diplomatic word is not enough. They come down, giving them all kind of ammunition to do what? To make sure that they stop Biafran army. Remember, we started with nothing. With bare hand, with a stick and machete. Until we start getting, when they buy them, they take their own. When they buy them, before every other thing. Then the Ifa Juna, who is the Ojukwu senior brother, went away with money the Ojukwu give him to go and buy weapon. A lot of things went wrong. So, my people, you can see how Britain stopped us. And today, are they not still under existence? Do you know that Britain is the backbone of Nigeria in whatever they are committing? Britain is the backbone is the father of Nigeria. That is why everything is going wrong. Because, do you know why everything is going wrong? Because everything was built in the lies and the interests of this so-called Britain. Listen to number 3.
3. Public relations. The British government worked to help the FGN improve the presentation of its policies to counter the international public opposition caused by the widespread starvation and famine in Biafra. Due to the immense pressure exerted by Britain and its allies,
As like I told you, as the war is going on, Britain are calling conference, calling things, and bringing a law by themselves, and Nigeria putting this place so it will look like. We do know that by 1914, after Biafran war, the whole law that was implemented was what France want in the interest for them to see access of getting oil in Biafra land, and those they give those they never knew. And that's why they fought against it. Public relation, the British government worked to help Nigeria improve their presentation of the policy to counter the international policy options. What is the international policy options? Self-determination. No, give them support because of their self-determination people. British will say no. And because of they sit down on the UN. So the whole world was paying attention on them, except America, who is about to turn 5 days for them to turn to support us. What happened? Ojukwu now succumbed because of the pressure is too much. So you can see how Britain used even our own African Union to fight against us. Then what remains again? If Britain can do that, if Britain can single-handedly handle all this and did all this to us, what else again that we are still looking for? You can have. I hope now you have seen how Britain single-handedly stopped us in 1967 to 1970. Today, have they left our land? The answer is no. That is why I'm doing this program for you. Because today they are laying pipe. Remember, in 1967 to 1970, they never start laying pipe. Towards of now, they are laying pipe and they have been declared. Think of what they will do, but this one will backfire them back because all eyes of the world are open. Nigeria is a country of consign of the killing that kills the Christian and indigenous people. Yes, I see you, Ogonaya. Thank you so much for coming. Good morning from here. I see you, Wafo. Good morning from here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Remember the code on this platform, hashtag Nigeria / this Britain, because Mazen Kanu is with British passports. Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra. Hashtag Finland government. Free Simon Ekpa, the prime minister of United States of Biafra. Remember all this. That is good on this platform. It's all of making protests, so the world will know that something is going on, my people. Please, as you come, please like and share the program. Do not just watch. If it is your first time coming, you will see a 3 dot in front of you. Click on that 3 dot in front of your phone. Then it will open. You will see like and share, and also subscribe to the YouTube page. Please, can you do that? When you do that, it's not going to remove any data from your data. Please like and share. So what Britain did to us is unacceptable. That is why we must open our eyes, because today they are laying pipe from Imo State to Europe. Then think of how sabotage they are going to be on the UN right now. Now Biafra has been declared. But the difference is that 2025 is not 1967. I hope you know that. So it's also for you to know their plan and what they can be doing by now against us. I hope you are following. If then they are not laying pipe and they did this, think of some things that are delaying us right now, and think of things that we need to do more for us to get our international recognition. It's not only in the hands of the government, it's also in our own hand, who on social media. to let the world. So when they will start propagating those their propaganda, those their lies, when they start projecting it this time around, our voice on social media will be countering those things. Remember that I told you that our line is open for phone call. If you want any time you want to call us to put your own voice in what we are doing against these evil people called Britain. Like I told you, the number to call is +97336051 That is number to call. +973336051 In case if you want to call me, that is the number you can call to reach me, so you can be able to contribute this morning into what we are doing. It is very imperative, and it is very good, nice, and if you can do that. So because we are here to do what? To support ourselves. No brain is a waste. One person brain is not enough. So I hope you heard it clearly. Both they support Nigeria, both diplomatic influence, they support Nigeria in giving the weapon to fight against Biafran army. They support Nigeria by public relations, lying up and down. I don't know why everything about this British is lie and deceit. I don't know why everything about Britain is lie and deceit. That's how Nigeria becomes a lie country today. A country that kill his own indigenous people and deny that they are not killing them. Could you imagine?
Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. This lack of major international support ultimately contributed to Biafra's surrender in January 1970. The video, The Nigerian Civil War Explained documentary, provides a detailed look at the conflict and the involvement of foreign powers.
Do you hear it? Involvement of foreign powers, not even only one. Those that Britain colluded with, they're all sponsoring what? Nigeria. Due to the mispressure exists by Britain and its alliance, Biafra refused official recognition. Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. Do you know that at that time they forced Tanzania, they forced the countries, they send message to them, why do you stop? Why are you giving them recognition? Stop what you are doing. But because of the spirit of school carrying is with them, they did not withdraw it, even till today. So we're not going to play the video because it's our phone is too small to play the video. So today you have heard how Britain stopped our international recognition by using all the UN members, by using Africa's enlarged to do that. I hope it is clear to you. Before we move into another different thing, we are going to play it once again so you may understand it clearly.
This is a crucial question that highlights Britain's direct intervention in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Britain actively worked to block international recognition of Biafra through diplomatic efforts and direct military support to the Nigerian government. The core reasons for this policy were driven by a combination of significant economic self-interest and a desire to uphold a specific post-colonial principle. 1. Paramount economic interest: oil. This was the single most important factor driving the British government's policy, protecting Shell BP's asset.
Yes, tell what about our first caller today? Wanda, good morning from here.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. God bless you so much. It's been a long time. I've been off and on.
Even me
I've
also.
not been consistent.
Yeah.
I've consistent. Thank you for the good work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you that you are utilizing in this knowledge. I just call to appreciate you and to thank God on your behalf. And also to chip in a little thing.
Yeah.
Now we've understood how Britain played their pranks against us. But that was then, because the knowledge that we had today, we never had it back then. Now everywhere is sensitized. Now we've understood what is playing on the ground. And also thank God for social media. The reason why Britain was able to succeed during that time is because there was no social media. And the knowledge was not abroad as it is this time around. And also the people that they make use of as at that time did not even know what it's all about. But thank God, they will play all the pranks they know they can play. But this time around, it's not going to be business as usual. Because before they will even step in, we will have taken 10 or 20 steps ahead of them. And anything God is, there is nothing that can be against it. You cannot fight God and win. It is only human being. If God is not with the person, you can fight and win if the person permits you. Even the human being will resist you to an extent before, if at all, you'll be able to make your way. Let them fight all the fight they know they could fight. Is a fight of a dying horse. But this time around, where God is gidigban with us, there is nothing they can do about it. All their fights and all their evil plans will come to nothing. So we move, we keep it up.
Yes. Sir.
The only thing that we will not slow down the tempo will continue to be high, increase day in, day out. And God will be sending a way of escape for us as it has been doing. Because when you look at what has happened so far, it has been God, though.
Honestly.
It's not us. It has been God. Even the road that you feel maybe you are not going to scare through, before you know it, God will scare us through. So, sir, I just want to call to greet you. It's been a long time. Continue the good work. Let people that are sabotaging continue to sabotage. They will sabotage, and at the end, it's them that will enter into shame. In fact, shame is becoming their portion.
Exactly.
What they are doing is they cannot stop what they have started because they have collected money already. So they have to please their paymasters. While they are pleasing their paymasters, we are forging ahead as God is with us. So thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for always being here. I appreciate all your effort. Please try and be safe. Thank you so much. We move. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah. So, no, like I said, once we thank our sister for her wonderful submission, because what we are doing is everybody's voice to join us together to make sure that we got to where we are going. Where are we going? We are only looking for recognition. That thing that Britain stopped us. Listen, Britain did not stop Oju from making declaration, but they stopped him from getting an international recognition, in the one they call international. So today, we are not going to allow it to happen again. Now we have known that this is the route they are playing, and there's something they will do. People will remain adamant. The only thing we know that people that are watching us as United States of Biafra are watching to see how resilient, how strength, and how faithful we are, and how determined we are to have a new country. That is what they are looking for. They want to see how we handle things and how we become peaceful. Today, that is why I say, thank God that Biafra we are fighting is not under armed struggle. It's under peaceful political pressure and and the diplomatic movement. That's what we are doing today. So it is our right. Remember, before I play the video again, before I play the document, remember that it's your right to go and vote, as vote is going on in Old Anambra. 3 states in Old Anambra is having the election. Remember, Odimegu, Omambala, and Ikemba, they are having the election. By you voting is also another way to do what? To show to the British, we have voted Nigeria out. If you want online, you vote. If you do Biafra land, take instruction on how you go in and then you vote also. From only 18 years and above, the election is for. It's also to prove to the world that we have a government right now. That not that we just declared, but we have a government that are piloting the affairs of the Biafran people according to their own law of the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention of 1933 and the Geneva Convention. All your laws we have been using to work this time around. So you can see that we are peaceful people, and that is why the coming of Biafra as a country, we end the impunity of the going on in Nigeria. Because of you stop us, that is why there is many killings today. So the blame on the killings will go back to Britain. The incidents happening in Biafra, happening in Nigeria, in Biafra land, the killings of the indigenous people, the blame should put on Britain. The blame should go to them. Because if they allow us to be the way we used to be, after you said that there is going to be this and that, how many Africans is there? Are they not fighting on their own? Those that you put in the seat today, what happens? Go to Cameroon today, they are protesting. Many countries are in protesting because of what Britain laid down in Africa. We are chasing them away. When you chase away these old fools, you are chasing Britain away with that ideology of they used to come and conquer us. My people, we must be strong.
The Biafran region, the former Eastern region, held the vast majority of Nigeria's newly discovered and highly profitable oil reserves. British investment, especially from the oil company Shell BP, was immense. Guaranteeing oil flow, British officials determined that the fastest and most secure way to protect these investments and maintain the flow of oil to Britain was to ensure the Nigerian federal government, FGN, remained in control of the territory. Mitigating domestic shortfalls, the 1967 Six-Day War had disrupted oil supplies from the Middle East, making Nigerian oil strategically vital for the UK's domestic energy needs at that specific time. Protecting this access was prioritized over neutrality. As declassified government documents from the time noted, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly so we can regain access to important oil installations. 2. Geopolitical principle, preserving colonial borders. Fear of fragmentation. If Biafra's secession was recognized, Britain feared it would set a catastrophic precedent for the rest of Africa. Nearly all post-colonial African states contained multiple ethnic groups within artificial borders drawn by European powers. Upholding OAU policy, Britain's position aligned with the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which generally opposed any attempt to redraw colonial boundaries. They feared that if Nigeria, a key Commonwealth nation and one of the largest states, was allowed to break up, the rest of the continent would follow suit, leading to widespread instability and conflict. How Britain blocked recognition. Britain supported the federal government of Nigeria in 3 main ways to ensure Biafra failed. 1. Diplomatic influence. Britain used its seat at the United Nations and its diplomatic network to lobby other countries, convincing them that supporting the FGN was essential for maintaining order and stability in Africa. 2. Arms and logistics. Despite the escalating humanitarian crisis, Britain continued to be the main supplier of arms and ammunition to the Nigerian military. This material support was instrumental in giving the FGN the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces. 3. Public relations. The British government worked to help the FGN improve the presentation of its policies to counter the international public opposition caused by the widespread starvation and famine in Biafra. Due to the immense pressure exerted by Britain and its allies, Biafra received official recognition from only 5 countries: Gabon, Haiti, Côte d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and Zambia. This lack of major international support ultimately contributed to Biafra's surrender in January 1970. The video, The Nigerian Civil War Explained documentary, provides a detailed look at the conflict and the involvement of foreign powers.
I hope you heard it clearly. How Britain single-handedly sponsored Nigeria against us. How they carry it on their head because of their interest of building pipeline from Imo State today to Europe. It's going on. But they will meet your Waterloo very soon. And we'll see how everything is going to be. If Britain could have allowed us to be, all this that is happening today, they could have not been happening. Everywhere could have been, we could have built one of the most beautiful countries, one of the most beautiful countries in the world, because that is, we are too unique and we are too special. So we want Britain to know, or UK to know, that what they did in 1967, that they can never do it again. The time is over, because Africans are rising. Africans are coming together to build their own law, build their own world with you, and they have a common boundary, and they have their own law, not law that comes from you. The laws Africans are going to build together is not going to come from you. It's going to be the law that African people will use by themselves, because they have understand what they are passing through and who their people are. They will now build the law that will control their people. That is the pure truth. So we are not panicking. We are here to let the world know that Biafra has been declared again. Britain, if Britain come across you or want to give you something, do not accept. Please. Nothing that they can give Africa again. The Africa does accept them. That is why Niger are chasing them away. Burkina Faso, Senegal, and all of them who believe that this people has expired. The white people has expired and have let them leave Africa alone. Why are they so greedy? Why are they so evil? That is the things that we want to let them know. That after you have support Nigeria in all ways, today Nigeria is a better country. Nigeria is where America has put a country of consign. That is it. Because of what? What Britain cost of the killings of the indigenous people. These are fact and figures. And it's happening all over, everywhere. So we are not going to relent. We are here to prove it to the world. To let the world know that Britain committed such a crime. Britain is supposed to be prosecuted because Federal Lugard, even if his life is member of his families, because what they did to us is unacceptable. What they did in our land is what? Unacceptable. Why? We are human beings and said to rubbish us. So we are not going to accept it anymore. That is why we stood up on November 29 to make official declaration of United States of Biafra as a new country. That is our inalienable right to do so. And we have done that. You can't stop us. No way. No way. No way this time around. This 21st century is not 1967, where you control the media, Britain. Where you control the media. You see, the same way Britain controlled the media in 1967 is the same way now Nigeria is controlling the media. Do you see? So Britain teach Nigeria how to control the media. Are you seeing them bringing all this killing that's going on in Nigeria? They are not, Al Jazeera is not talking about it. AIT, Silverbird, NTN, all this channel news in Nigeria. Even the so-called Al Jazeera and the BBC. They are not. Because Britain is controlling it the way they control it during the time of the war. but you fail woefully because the independent media, many of them is there to present it to the world, so they will see what is going on, what is happening. My people, we want to thank those who are here this morning. We have got to 2-hour Sunday. That's all we can go for today after coming back from our work. So I want to thank those who are here. I want to greet you in a special way. Thank you for being here. It's going to be the end of the program for today. We have done it how Britain used our own people, African people, to stop us. But tomorrow, we are going to attach something on it and bring you another do something that you have already cooked. So you will see things and know that what we are doing is yielding a very big result. Do not panic. Do not move. What we seek, we have gotten it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I salute you. Obato Obi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, I greet you. What you do for us shall never go in vain. We, the Biafran people, are here to finally push for the international recognition. Now that Nigeria has become a country of concern, a country that there is, a country that are killing his own indigenous people, a country that is killing his own indigenous people. And why? Only showing this is not enough. What is enough is to allow the indigenous people to have their own country, to give us recognition so we can help to stop this. We know how to stop it. But it's only when we are fully conscious so we can be able to get the equipment we need to end this killing that is going on all over Biafra land and some parts where we can help to assist. So my people, from me, from here, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.